Hello, my name is Sarah Elizabeth, and I am the blogger and vlogger of SarahElizabeth.com. And thank you so much if you have followed the blog to this video. God bless you. I have so much love and gratitude towards you. Thank you for being open-minded. Thank you for being curious. And just thank you for being here. If you have stumbled upon this video through Google or YouTube, I want to encourage you to check out my blog so you can get a little bit of a backstory of who I am and what my intentions and what led me to this space of doing Mother Ayahuasca. If you are doing your research like I did when I committed to Mother Ayahuasca, let me tell you something, homie. Every single journey is completely different. So my experience will not be your experience, or Susie Q's experience won't be my experience or her experience. Like, every single journey is completely different. So it's okay to make sure you're on the right track, but do not expect nothing but what you exactly need, because that's what Mother Ayahuasca is. That's what she does for you. She gives you exactly what you need. And when she gives it to you, the ultimate test is, now, are you going to apply it every single day in your life? Because that's where you keep the miracles going. That's where you keep the healing going, okay? So yes, that is my spiel. One, I want to reiterate that my opinions and my actions reflect nobody else's but my own, but Sarah Elizabeth, my own being, my own soul, my own everything, okay? I say that because, just because I'm a mom and a wife, that just because I make a choice, it affects everybody. No, to an extent, it doesn't. And I believe in natural and supernatural healing techniques, okay? And everybody else doesn't agree with that. I'm cool with it, but I do. And in order to live my best life, I will do what it takes naturally and supernaturally to live the life that I am divinely entitled to. Two, only loving energies and accepting and open-minded and open-hearted and curious souls are allowed in this space. That is it. So I'm really excited about sharing my Mother Ayahuasca journey with you. It's been one heck of a year. I've done 2 ayahuasca journeys. I did one in May of 2018 and November 2018, and I will be getting ready to do another one in 2019. In fact, I was invited to guide a Mother Ayahuasca journey. So if this tickles your fancy, you know how to get in touch with me. But I just wanted to share my journey with you because I am ready, and I wanted to make sure I was ready, and I'm living on the word of inspiration and being inspired. When I am inspired, I'm able to share and give and allow the light to work through me. And so when I began to feel that feeling of inspiration when it came to the subject, I said, okay, it's time. So let me just say that I have done a lot of healing on my own with the help of EMDR. I did EMDR, which is a type of therapy, eye movement therapy, to help heal my trauma for about 2 months. And then after that, it was a lot of journaling. It was a lot of meditations. It was a lot of ups and downs. It was a lot of books. It was a lot of courses. It was a lot of faith. It was a lot of crying, getting back up, falling, moving forward, going all the way back. So I came into this journey feeling like Mother Ayahuasca journey, by the way, okay, I worked hard enough for it now. Now it's time for me to receive. I am worthy of receiving. I am worthy of receiving this plant-based medicine that's made for my highest good. So I remember leaving, before I left to go to Italy with my kids, I left on the spiritual high. So I believed in the spiritual realm. I believed in the supernatural. I believed. And then when I came back, like I still had faith, but all of that energy was gone. And I understand I had a really, really good time in Italy. Like, YOLO, right? So at that time when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to begin again. It's worth it to me. I'll start from the bottom and work my way back up. And that's when Mother Ayahuasca started to call me, and she said, you are worthy of this. Come to me and I will help you. And the most beautiful thing was my body automatically knew. My inner self automatically knew. Like, I dropped coffee, I dropped meat, I dropped milk, I dropped cheese, I dropped all of that stuff like a bad habit. And I began my research. Okay, what's the cheapest ticket to Peru? But it was just so unfeasible going to Peru, and that is one of my visions for myself one day. But it wasn't going to happen that way. But I've been guided to this beautiful woman named Larissa. I will post her information so she can guide you on your Mother Ayahuasca journey. But I found a space in Amsterdam, and 30 days later I was in Amsterdam with this most intense feeling of this is it, like we're going in. So I'll never forget one of the biggest lessons that Mother Ayahuasca taught me. I remember taking the drink and then laying there. And I have done drugs before. Before I became a parent and married and all that stuff, I did drugs before, okay? And so when you do certain types of drugs, you hallucinate or you hear things, and just things begin to get really, really groovy, maybe. And so I remember drinking ayahuasca and attaching my past to this present experience. And that's when shit started going downhill for me. And if you have done your research with Mother Ayahuasca, you know what I'm talking about. It just started going downhill because first off, I attached a past experience to a present outcome. So I'm looking for something. I'm looking. I'm like, I'm looking for the sky. I'm looking for my angels. I'm looking for my orbs. I'm looking for Jesus. Like, what am I looking for here? And then I started to get really uncomfortable. My inner self was freaking out. And I was just moving, and I was just having a really hard time going through this, okay? And the first, I want to say 2.5 hours, 3 hours, it was like that. And I remember Larissa coming up to me, and she's like, you need to surrender. Like, you need to breathe, and you need to surrender. You need to let go. And I'm like, I am letting go. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. But when she left, I began to hear this voice inside. And she said, do you feel all that? And I'm like, yes, I feel all this. Like, what is going on? And I'll never forget. And this really helps me and helps me stay aligned and keeps me in check. She said, what you're feeling is all the things that you have control over. And when you have control over all of these things, this is the stress that you're causing yourself. You just haven't been able to feel it, and now you're actually feeling the anxiety, the clenching of the fingernails in your muscles. Like, you're starting to feel how uncomfortable it is of the things that you're controlling and the things that you have no control over. And once I heard that, it started to make sense. And then she began to show me all the things that I thought I let go of, and I didn't. Like, I had so much control over everything. And before I came into that space, I thought I didn't. I was like, I was going with the universe, right? No. And so that was one of the biggest things. And so it depends. When you go through an ayahuasca journey, it may be painful for you at first. It was extremely painful for me at first. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm a good girl. Like, I did all my work by myself. So it was just one of those things of what is going on. And it was the most loving, it was the most painful, loving experience that I would do all over again, because it taught me. And when I think I've let control, or when I think I've surrendered, I surrender some more. Like, I don't even care, because I don't want to feel that. And when I'm not letting go, I'm constricting what God has in place for me. And so that was one of the biggest wake-up calls. That was the first thing. And so then we're going into round 2. So she's like, are you ready for round 2? And I'm like, home girl, I just got over round 1. Like, I don't know. I'm good. And she's like, no, you need to go deeper. It's time for you to go deeper. And I'm like, okay. So I took the second shot. And the second shot, I remember going to this journey, like, I don't want to throw up. I'm too good to throw up. I don't like throwing up. And I remember there was a lot of stagnant energy in my solar plexus and in my womb. That was my solar plexus. And my solar plexus, once I threw up, I felt so much better. I felt so much lighter. I remember, I don't want to throw up. I'm too good to throw up. I don't want to throw up. Like, ugh. And I threw up, and it was the best thing for me. It was the best thing that I could ever ask for, because I felt like I was a brand new person. I was literally reborn like in 30 seconds. And then after that, I was able to really dive in deep and come to Mother Ayahuasca with my questions. My spiritual gifts were revealed to me. So I'm a feeler. Sometimes I can see things. Sometimes I can hear things. And I remember the Mother Ayahuasca showing me that you feel things. You necessarily don't see them, so stop seeking for something. Go by what you feel, because that's your GPS. That's what you do. Somebody else might be able to see, but you, this is what you do. And so that was revealed to me. I learned the most powerful lesson about love, and that was my block. That was my block. And that was the most greatest gift that I received this year, 2018, was the gift of understanding love. I remember Mother Ayahuasca saying, we only love our kids. We only love our spouse. We love people that are close to us. We love, certain people that make us feel good, but that's not love. Love is going beyond. Love is pushing past, love your neighbor like you love your kids. Teach your husband like you teach your husband. Okay, husband, let's say friend, okay? Move like, this is what love is. It's accepting. It is allowing, it's forgiving. It's allowing you to, it's just, I don't know, it's hard for me to explain what love is. And that was one of the other things about Mother Ayahuasca. What we feel or what we see or what we think or whatever, sometimes it doesn't need a label. Sometimes it's not there for you to define. It's just meant to be there for you to feel and to attract and to feel good about yourself. And so she taught me about love and how I should love everybody. And so once I learned about love, we came to my block, and my block was my marriage. And I remember asking, like, is my husband, is he the one? Like, is he the one? And I will never forget, she said, yes, he is the one. He is the one teaching you about love. He is your teacher. And she showed me all the ways that he was teaching me and will continue to teach me. And I just knew, like, I'm like, okay. And so I remember coming home after my journey a day later, like, I healed my marriage. I radically healed my marriage with the wisdom, with the energy that was given to me. I met God face to face, and I'll post a video of what that experience was like too, in this description box. So yes, I left my Mother Ayahuasca journey with so much knowledge and so much healing and so much belief. I remember reading all this stuff and doing all this stuff, but I never believed, I guess I never accepted it. Like, I believed it, but I never accepted it and believed it hardcore. Like, I believed in darkness way more than I realized, and Mother Ayahuasca showed me the ways that I was doing that. So I remember one of the biggest lessons, I got a lot of lessons. If it's not love, it's a distraction. Okay, if it's not building a loving relationship, if it's not producing loving thoughts, if it's not, unifying in love, it's a freaking distraction. Okay, and so I took away a lot. I was able to connect with the spiritual realm on a much deeper level. I was able to apply everything that Mother Ayahuasca taught me, and I did it. And ever since then, a lot of spiritual gifts were revealed to me. And so, yeah, that was my journey. That was my beautiful journey. And it was just gorgeous. It was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And it was the most life-changing thing ever. And about a month or two ago, I went on my second ayahuasca journey. And it was completely different than the first one, okay? I will admit, the first one for me, it was exactly what I needed to get to where I was in my life, okay? Because I radically changed since Mother Ayahuasca. So this journey, it was completely different, and I feel like this journey, my second ayahuasca journey, taught me all the ways that I wasn't loving myself. So the first journey was about love and, answering all of my questions and showing me all of these magical things. And then the second journey was about, good job, we're proud of you, welcome back, we're so proud of you, like, you did that, like, you nailed it, like, we're impressed, and this is what your future is gonna look like. And I was like, cool. And then it went downhill. And this time I was more accepting and open arms about facing this pain than I did the first time. But this ayahuasca journey, like, it left me really confused, but I got, like, for some odd reason, all the pieces came together, okay? And you have to have some type of backbone when you're confused and you don't know up from down, okay? You have to have a very strong backbone to pull yourself back together, because I just felt like a lot of things were going on in the background, and I guess I took it with me. And then all of those things that I took with me were showing me, okay, you know what love is, and you've got that, but you're giving that love away to everybody else. You're not giving it to yourself, okay? And so that's what it was more for me. That was my second ayahuasca journey. That's all of that in a nutshell. That's all I can really speak from with that. Like, I could talk about the first one all day. The second one, it was different, totally different, but I got what I needed, and I got the lesson, got it. And so I do intend on going on my third and final ayahuasca journey at the beginning of the year. And just to, for me personally, to have that closure. Like, I came in high and then I left low, and I believe this is what it is. So can we have a party? Or can we, like, talk about it or something? So I'm open to whatever. But that was my intention of doing it the third time. And then, you know, just going out and doing my thing, doing my thing. Mother Ayahuasca taught me how to believe in the spiritual realm, because the spiritual realm is real, and I speak from a place of the supernatural. I don't speak from a place of ego anymore. If I speak from a place from ego, then it's felt. When I speak from a place that I am connected and guided, it's a completely different energy. So I believe that's what this second ayahuasca journey was teaching me too, like the ways that I was holding back. Because I was holding back a lot, because what if someone came to you like, oh, your aura is blue. Do you know, like, so, or let me do an energy session. Oh, you have a cold? Let me, you know, like, I was holding back in ways. So I realize that now, and that was my ayahuasca journeys. I had 2 of them, and I'm going to connect you with the most beautiful soul that was my guide. I've saw her grow in her spiritual journey too, so it's just been a beautiful path. At the end of the day, the whole thing's beautiful. It is what you make of it. So yes, that was my ayahuasca journey. I'm totally open to answering any questions that you may have. And all right, peace, love, and radical blessings, my friend.